Liquor Talk, brand new episode starts right now. Welcome everybody to another edition of the podcast where you're gonna need some liquor for this conversation. This is the Liquor Talk Podcast. I'm your man Victor, and you are entering the final stages of the season 5 of Liquor Talk. Tonight, my guest hails from Las Vegas, from Sin City. She is the host of the G.O.A.T podcast. It's Krissie the G.O.A.T. Welcome to Liquor Talk, and how you doing tonight?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I am
Yes, and I
good.
appreciate you for coming on short notice. We were just discussing this, and I kind of had somebody flake on me, and I definitely appreciate you for doing this on short notice. I just want to tell you that.
No problem at all.
All right, let's jump right into it. Tell people about your podcast, the G.O.A.T podcast.
Yeah. So you see the name, Chrissy to go. That's where it came from. I mean, I really do a lot just in my city or really with anything that I do. And everybody always be like, you to go, you to go. Like when I do something. And then it was just kind of like self-proclaimed from just doing my works. Like I used to be involved in music and I've managed and things like that. And at first they used to call me Suge Knight because the way that I just used to just go with everything. And so I actually had a podcast previously. I had a co-host, but we just were not on the same page at all, and it just slowly just went away. So I was like, I still want to do this. Like, I had been wanting to do a podcast already for like 5 years or so. And I don't know why I was running from doing it on my own. But I think it took like testing the waters to really see like if this is what I could or wanted to do. And from there, I just did it. And after talking to my man like over and over about my frustrations and everything, I was kind of like trying to rebrand myself and come up with a name. And he's like, why don't you use your name but just like make it an acronym or whatever? And I'm like, I don't want to do that. And it took me like 2 months, and one day I had just said something, and I'm like I was saying how like when I'm conversating, like I just have like great overall topics or something like that, and I was just like G.O.A.T, and it just kind of boom, that's where it came from. So yeah.
That's what's up. That is definitely what's up. That's a great story. And I'm happy you got started podcasting because I
Thank
felt
you.
that pain when you said you and the co-host went the same different direction, because
Yeah.
that happened to me because the first season of Liquor Talk, I had a co-host. Actually, the first 2 seasons, I had a co-host. Halfway during season 2, me and that co-host flaked out. I replaced her with someone else. That person flaked out, but then I think it was after episode 94, 95, I was just like, fuck it, I'm a one-man crew now because what I found is when I teleconference like this, people show up. Getting
Right.
people in your city to work with you is a challenge. So that's why I kind of just said, fuck
Yeah.
it, I'm gonna be a one-man working crew because one thing I've learned is nobody's gonna have the same vision for you know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna feel the same way about your
Right.
podcast like you do. So
Right. And that's crazy you said that because Big Boy Radio, I came across this interview that he did. And that's where my inspiration came from a little bit because he was saying how, no, I'm lying. It was Big Boy Radio, but it was 50 Cent. And he was saying how did you end up just being a one-man crew on what you do? And Big Boy was saying like how it was not always just him. He tried it. They were on different paths, they went in different directions. They didn't have the same schedules and life and goals or anything like that. And he asked him like, how was it, like how did you separate from G Unit to just 50 Cent? And when they pretty much explained how they had been on the same road that I was on, and how you really like ain't nobody gonna have your dream or live your dream like you are,
facts.
I was just like, damn, okay, I think that was my confirmation. So I just took off.
Yeah, and honestly, my confirmation was going into groups and saying, "Hey, I need a guest," and my DMs blowing up, flooded with people the floodgates just opened, you know what I'm saying? When you say, hey, you need a guest for your podcast, I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm not getting this kind of love here where I'm at. So
yeah,
naturally I'm gonna just go ahead and get into this teleconference thing and we're gonna do it like this, you know.
it's
And lo
fair.
and behold, we still here pushing this is what episode 257 right now. We
Deep.
about
Yeah,
to,
I think I'm like
yeah.
at 15.
Hey, you'll get there, you know what I'm saying? That's why I tell everybody, y'all get there if you just keep going, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So what was your inspiration to finally say, okay, I'm ready to just go ahead and do this, you know? What really just was like the nail in the coffin?
So, when I was doing the podcast, like from the beginning with my co-host, it was like every episode that we recorded was late. We were like a week behind. And then we would get like 2 weeks behind. And I'm just like, damn, like like I said, when I do something, I be so involved and I want it like we were just in our learning stages. So I'm like, I want to figure it out. I want to do this. I want to do that. I felt like we should have like multiple episodes in one session and drop them sporadically. And that just wasn't working. And then like she just started flaking on me over and over again, or would even be like, oh, I'm en route and just wouldn't show up. We even tried remote and remote wasn't working. And so again, frustration there. And so I had started doing shorts in between, like little reels. And I would just like do like a 60-second reel and just pick a topic and just go off about it or whatever. And those started doing really well for me. And especially like on TikTok and Facebook, like a lot of people were messing with them. But that was like just my in between time to get me going or to like keep me busy when I couldn't record because I was dependent on somebody. And once that stopped, I was just doing those. And then, of course, people were like, oh, when you coming back? When you coming back? And I would like talk to certain people and they would give me advice. And they were just like, why don't you just do what you're doing and just turn it into a show? And I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll see, whatever. But I don't know. I just had, like I said, when I seen that clip, that was really it. And after talking, I was just like, I'm gonna do it. And I had just set a date. Like I literally just picked it, and it was my birthday, March 13th. And I was just like, I said like a month prior. It was like February, and I was like, on my birthday, I'm gonna just kick it off. And I had made a post on Facebook, and I was like, I'm expecting a baby, and this or that, and everybody went crazy, like, oh my god, you having a baby, da 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 da. And then when March came, I was like, here's my baby, y'all. Welcome her to the world, and boom, I just went.
Yes, that's real. You got to do that. And you know what? That's why whenever people look at me like, you're so and so, you don't have kids. Yeah, I got a kid. It's called Liquor Talk. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and one thing I find is like when you stop relying on people, you're freaking unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? If someone
Yeah,
don't show up, there's someone else that will show up. So that's the main thing I've wanted people that, and that goes for anything, if whether it's podcasting or business, whatever it is. It's like you can't sit
yeah,
around and wait for people
no,
if they're not on the same wave. You just might need to just go get it started and ask questions later. Figure it out as you go.
yeah, that's so true.
You really have to do that. So, what's something you wish you would know about podcasting before you got started?
Something I wish I knew.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. Other than like, because I do everything. Like I do my engineering, I do my editing, like I do it all by myself. Um, I don't really let like the opinions of it shake me. I think that might be a lot of people issue when they jump into it, because once you're actually on a platform and people are like following you, they feel like, okay, now you have something to kind of, you have a standard. Oh, you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't talk about this or that, or you're gonna offend. Like that's what I get a lot. You're gonna offend the people that follow you or support you. But I'm like, that's why they follow me, because of who I am. I'm not going to change who I am now that I have a
Mhm.
following or anything like that. And I've been this way. That's why I was destined to do this, because I be on Facebook and stuff going off like all the time. So it's like, it's
Yeah,
nothing new to me.
Yes,
It's
no,
just
I used to be
from
the
like
same way.
typing to
Mhm.
visual and audio.
Yep. That's I used to be the same way as well, going off on Twitter, and then it went to Snapchat, and then it went to podcasting. The one
Yeah,
thing I've learned over the years is people are just gonna have an opinion no matter what you do, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
you might as well just say fuck it
just
and
do
do it,
it.
you know what I'm saying? Just and then whoever is with you, cool. If not, it is what it is. I respect you for saying your opinion, even if it's a stupid opinion, you know what I'm saying? I'll still respect you. I'm just not gonna receive
Yeah,
your opinion, you know.
yeah.
So now getting back to your last podcast, which was women and their femininity, what is something you would like men to understand about women and their femininity?
I went into that because lately, for some reason, I've been seeing the conversations about women being too masculine, and there may be some that are, but what I need men to understand is that, like, we're even the masculine ones, because I know I have a masculine side, but you have to be masculine and you really have to be like in position if you want a feminine woman. Like, that's not, if like if I wasn't in a relationship, if I didn't have a man around or anything like that, I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything on my own. So it's not like I think I'm a guy or I want to be a guy or anything like that, but it's just like I have to be strong. I have to hold everything up. I don't have nobody. I don't have a person on the side of me. I don't have a left hand or nothing like that. I think that's where, I think it goes both ways with men and women. I think that's where the gap is not bridged for some reason. It opened up, and like it's like we're against each other. A lot of people, like, especially, I don't know why, because I have a lot of podcast friends or just opinionated friends, and for the males, they're definitely broken. I see that for sure. But they don't understand what it takes to have a feminine woman. Like, it really takes you being a strong, it's not about being, oh, a real man or everything that a woman wants or this or that. No, but you just have to know how to lead in order for a woman to sit back,
Mhm.
be soft, and really follow or submissive to you.
Yeah, and also a lot of men they try to lead but not have their shit together. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're
Yeah.
trying to lead and they do this and do that, but you're
how
not doing
how am
things
I
to
gonna
keep her
submit to
happy.
somebody and I'm paying all the bills? Or I'm helping him out or doing this or doing that, or he don't have no kind of structure about him at all. How am I gonna submit to you and you out here in the streets running wild? It's not gonna
Hmm.
happen. Women naturally want to submit, but we have so much freaking trauma and everything. It's like we gotta be guarded. And we got to make sure the right woman, I'm going to make sure I have I have it. Like, I was just saying this, like, was that yesterday or the night before? I was just saying how I would love to be taken care of. I would love it. I would love to have like a man that really just had like a real bag behind him. But even in that situation, I would still never not want my own. Ain't no way that I would just completely want to just be fully taken care of. Because at any time or when he gets tired of you or whatever it may be, if he finds someone else that for whatever reason he think the grass is greener, this man was your provider. Now you just left with nothing at all. No. You could take care of me, but I'm still take care of myself.
Yeah, or how about we just take care of each other, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever areas you need help in, you take care of, I'll take care of you, and whatever areas you see I need
Yes.
help in, we
Yes.
gotta just make this a team effort, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So that's but not a lot of people think like that because just
Mhm.
this generation is just about let me get got before I get played or something like that. And what I notice is a lot of people haven't really healed from that, and everybody thinks people out to get them. And sometimes you just gotta take a step back, you know.
Yeah, I don't understand how people go into
People going
relationship
through.
being guarded. It's like when you get into a relationship, that's it. You're taking that chance. Of course, nobody wants to be hurt. Nobody wants to be played or anything like that. But I would assume you trust this person enough to try with them. Not like, oh, I'm a keep some on the side just in case. You're not even in a relationship. If you got options.
You're really not, because and also I saw this clip the other day and it still baffles my mind about how people glorify being a side person. I'm like, you don't love yourself. I'm sorry.
No,
If you would rather sit here and be the side person and think the grass is greener and hope that this person is going to leave, you're going to be waiting forever
ever.
because
You
they're not
might
leaving.
look up, but you got to remember how you got them is how you gonna lose them. You didn't
Yep.
do nothing but become the one being cheated on. So
Yep. And now you gotta be looking up like, is he doing this or is he doing that? You know what I'm saying? Or is she doing this or she doing that?
yeah.
And yeah, you know what? If you're just gonna be the side person, just own your role if you're gonna do it.
Hmm.
But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. The more you drink, the better I sound. So go ahead and pull up that liquor if you haven't done so already. Go ahead and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts at. Go ahead and tap in with your boy. All right. We both live in tourist towns. I live in Orlando, which is like, Disney World stuff. And Miss Krissie over here lives in Sin City, better known as Las Vegas. So what is it like living there and seeing, because you got the shows, you got people gambling their lives away, and
Yeah.
it's a lot going on in Vegas.
There is, but Vegas, it's really big. It's small. Everybody know everybody, but at the same time, like Vegas is really big. Um, I don't live anywhere near the strip. I'm about 30, 35 minutes away from the strip. We definitely have a ghetto. We got the hood and all of that. Those we don't live in hotels like everybody think we don't. Um, we actually have the strip, and then we also have downtown. Downtown is like a smaller version of the strip, and I think more locals may play around downtown unless you into other stuff like extracurricular activities out there on the strip. But it's cool. I don't like raising kids here. I wish that I didn't have to raise my kids here. I definitely would have chose somewhere else. But a lot of stuff has come up over the years. Like we have a lot or more for the kids to do now. We have a little bit of culture, not a whole lot, but we do have a little bit of culture here too. It's you just have to get out and really experience it.
Yeah. So what's your advice to anybody going to Vegas for the first time?
Don't be naive. Do not be naive because they will get you if they can. If especially if you going on that strip, be careful. And especially if you out here trying to buy something, be careful because they will get you. But that's not all that Vegas is about either. Like, of course, I'm gonna say like, don't lose your like. I live here. I don't even gamble. Everybody swear that everybody in Vegas gambles. That's not for me. I would prefer to go to the mall and spend my money and come home with something that's gonna go in my closet or something like that. I'm not a gambler. I do have family members like they gamble. Uh, they actually win a lot, but that's not what it's all about. But you got to be careful coming here.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. I'm not a gambling man either, you know what I'm saying? I would want to go for the shows and stuff because I be seeing y'all have like all the artists be doing residencies and
Yeah.
stuff. So I
And
don't
it's
that,
kind of new. That's kind of new. I'm gonna say like over the last maybe 5 to 10 years. That's something new with the residencies and everything. It used to be really big, like with like the older artists, and like we had Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack and people like that, and then like Celine Dion came here over time. It was like those type of artists. But over the last 5 to 10 years, like we got Lil Baby, we got Ti, we got Future, Fabulous. Like they come here on a regular. They go to Dre's is a popular nightclub. They also have Night Swim. They have a pool there, and on the weekends it's like somebody different. Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, somebody different. or sometimes they'll just have like even DJs be having a residency. So like I said, that's kind of new for us. That's not something that's always been. So those things like that are cool.
Mm. Yeah, that's what's up, you know what I'm saying? So because now, why do you say you wouldn't raise your kids? You don't like raising have to raise your kids in Vegas.
Because it's just like, again, like we don't have like major culture, and especially for black kids, of course. But like Vegas was a mob city, really a mob town.
Mm.
And then over time, like that's just really what it was. And at first it was a tourist city. You still have off the strip and things like that, but there's just not a lot for kids here. Versus if you take them down south or something, they're going to learn more. They're going to learn about their culture, their background, and everything like that. And it's going to be so much that you can get them involved in. Like we have Pop Warner. My daughter, she's in majorette dance, and she's done that since she was like 6 years old. But actually, when she started that is when it first touched down in Vegas. We didn't have that kind of stuff back then.
Wow, wow. And now y'all, now I'm seeing y'all getting the sports teams and stuff, you know. So
Unfortunately, yeah.
what's wrong? You don't like the Raiders fans?
We don't really have a problem with them at all, but it's just like when they came, everything when y'all came, y'all haven't won, y'all haven't brought nothing to the city but an increase in taxes and everything like that. And then the Aces are cool. I just
Yeah,
was at
shout
a
out to the
meeting
Aces.
like a
Yes.
week ago. That's cool, and they champion, so that's cool. But now y'all trying to get the Oakland A's, and that's literally right across the street from the Raiders. That's like
Mhm.
we're not used to that type of stuff. When we go on, like we don't live on the strip already, so when we go, a lot of locals don't like to go on the strip because parking and all of the extra stuff, and it's just like a lot of traffic. That's not what we're used to if it's not like a special event. But now it's like it's just there. Everything is just there. Like we have a street called Tropicana. That's a main street in Las Vegas. And they're taking Tropicana away like completely. It's just gonna be like a crosswalk for because of these big stadiums. We never had stadiums like that here. Literally think about that, like over all the years that there's been sports teams or anything like that.
Mhm.
First, before that, we got the T-Mobile Arena, and that's like where they made even bigger concerts. That's on one block. Right behind them sits the Raiders Stadium, and then right in front of them, now y'all putting something else there.
Damn. And I know Vegas, I know before the Raiders got there, the Vegas got a hockey team. I'm like, but they've been killing it though. I'm like, wow, Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas
Yeah,
nice.
Vegas. Yes, Vegas got the hockey team, and what's funny is Vegas and Florida, the Florida Panthers are in the final. So
Yeah,
motherfuckers in Canada are probably pissed about that. That two warm ass cities are getting the finals.
yeah,
But but nevertheless, though, like Vegas does sound like a good time. Definitely got to get out there. But I definitely feel you like the touristy parts of Orlando, the Disney Worlds, the Universal Studios, all those theme parks and stuff. Being a local, I barely go to that shit
yeah,
because it's nothing but traffic over there. And it was a blessing when I don't have to work in that area because it can be a bitch to get there. And certain times the airport can get crazy as well. So I definitely feel you on everything you saying
yeah,
about Vegas. You
yeah.
know, it just
Airport right down the street. It's like everything is just right there. No, and then it used to be where locals didn't have to pay to park at the casinos. Now we gotta pay to park. Like we live here. Why we gotta pay to park? 25, 30. Like I'm used to doing that when I travel. But to be local and I go like, I may want to go to a nice restaurant in a hotel or something like that, or be taking my daughter to do something within these hotels, and y'all treating us like we tourists. 25,
yeah.
35, $45 for parking.
Ooh, yeah, which is why I'm like, if I said to myself, if I travel anymore, I'm just gonna say fuck renting a car. I'll just pay for Uber.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's how I feel.
I'll pay for the Uber or Lyft because
Yeah.
25, 30, or 40 for parking is just ridiculous.
Yeah, and then you still gotta walk a block or two. Mm-mm.
Yes, that's just that's
Got me off at
ridiculous.
the door.
Yeah, there was a podcasting convention in Orlando, and I'm like, And I saw it was like for $40 for parking. I'm like, get out of here. Nah, y'all definitely, y'all might see me next year, but not
Right.
this year, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But overall, if you come to these cities, either Las Vegas or Orlando, know what the hell you're getting into before you get there, because
Definitely.
us locals, we really don't know everything, you know. We tend
Mhm.
to stay out the limelight.
Exactly.
Now, moving on, I know you've seen this story about Zion Williamson, the basketball player, getting involved with the porn star and having all these other people come out. My question, and I've been watching the whole ordeal, I'm like, do people just not take their L's silently, know how to take their L's publicly? Why does everything need to be broadcasted? Now I'm more concerned about when this man gonna come back on the court and play, because he a beast and his team is
Yeah.
good when he out there. But why would people broadcast their L's like this? Like, accept the fact that you're the side person. I'm sorry you got played and you got lied to, but you
Right.
should have just cut this person out. But why broadcast the L's? That's what I want to get at.
I think that it depends. I think it's level. Like for one, especially if I'm going through something, I always tell people when I'm going through something or something happened with me, you're the way to know is because I shut off from social media. I'm not active. I'm not posting. I'm not anything like that. That's when I'm handling something or I'm going through some emotions or whatever it may be. So that's just me. I don't feel like I gotta run to social media and put this out there and put that out there whenever something is wrong. But on the flip side, I think that, like I said, it's levels to it. I think it's about the disrespect. I think it's about the lack of communication, I guess you could say, or just it's just really levels to being played because, and I've been in a situation personally and I knew for sure that I was the one, and out of nowhere, somebody come out the woodworks and it's like, or something like that is exposed. But this is a person that I spend all my time with. I'm with this person every day, all day. If I'm not at work, boom, we're together actively. We do everything like a couple. And then it's just like, boom, surprise. I got a girlfriend or I got a baby on the way. I think it's really about ego. And like, ego is a crazy thing to have. And if that's crushed, I think that's what draws them to social media. They don't know how to handle it. They don't know just really how to deal with it. Or even some people feel like they need an answer. It's like, okay, I thought we were this. You misled me. You let me think this. You let me think that. And when something like this is exposed, now you just fall off the face of the earth. At least give me an explanation, or even if it's just an apology and go on your way. But if you just front me off, act like I'm delusional, act like I like everything that we were just doing was just like make believe, of course I'm gonna feel some type of way. And I think some people feel like that's their only option is to expose, because it's like you playing me and you trying to front me off. Okay, let me show people how you are. I think that's where that comes from.
Yeah, and I get all that, but at the end of the day, you're making yourself look stupid by exposing someone else. I think people
Yeah.
don't realize that, because people are gonna look at you like you allowed this to happen. So why should we have sympathy for you? Yeah. Do I think you should have had the conversation? Yes. Do I think there should have been a little more communication and everybody should know their roles and stuff? I bet you if they knew their roles, because nowadays some people are down with poly, some people are down with multiple people being
Being
in a
side chick.
relationship and stuff. So
Yes.
yeah, some people are down with that. So if you know that and you're communicating that, then you wouldn't have somebody just outing you on social media. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, you know what? Then I'm reading the details. I'm like, there's some things that just need to stay off social media. Some else, I
Yeah.
gotta take that shit in
And some stuff
silence.
I was like, okay, why did she say that?
Yeah, I'm like, why are you saying that? And like, you allowed that to happen at the end of the day, because you gotta look at yourself in the mirror like, why did I allow this to happen, and why
Yes.
wasn't I checking this person about this.
Yeah.
And my question to him is like, why not be upfront with this? You talking to other people and stuff. Why are y'all not being upfront with this? And I feel like a lot of people do that in relationships, but people aren't broadcasting though. But I feel like it happens a lot more than what we think, and it just goes
Yeah,
back
of
to
course. Yeah, and especially him in his stature, his position, there's women that just want to be around you just because. They're going to
Mhm.
put up with whatever you are dishing out just because. So it's like, I mean, just regular, ordinary people, y'all should definitely be upfront about things like that. I don't understand why want to be a player, but like you're not even being a player. Like that's where the line is drawn right there. There's a difference in being a player, because a player, all his women or her men or whatever, they know about, not may not necessarily know about each other, but they know they're not the only one. They
Mhm.
know they don't have any kind of they don't have any expectations. They don't really have no benefits other than what they're getting or anything like that. But they always tend to go after the people that are looking for something committed. Why are you coming my way when you know that I want a commitment? You know that I want it to be just me and you and nobody else, when there's all these other people out here that are going to go along with that. Or like you said, poly, now that's so popular for whatever reason. There's people out here that are for that. But I think it's just the thrill of turning somebody out or even sneaking. I've seen somebody say like it's the thrill of knowing that I'm getting away with something. But I think that's a lot of people that's not in their purpose, because we too grown for that.
Yes, we are. We're definitely too grown for that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna get tired of it, and you're gonna realize that you maybe shouldn't have been playing around, because it's gonna come back to bite you in the ass.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
people don't say
because
their emotions. Like they ain't never seen snapped or nothing like that. Like it's
Mhm.
crazy, because people really like being hurt is something crazy. It really is. And I can admit, in my younger days, like my cousin just tagged me in something yesterday. The girl was like, it was like me, and she was like, I'm finna slash his tires. And then it was like, the cousin was like, come get me. And my cousin tagged me, it was like us back in the days. But I can be open and honest and say that in my younger days, yeah, don't play with my feelings, because I'm finna come bust your windows. I'm finna put your tires on flat, or I'm finna trip. But once you go through that a couple times, or you mature, like you said, just leave. They're losing in the end. Just leave the situation alone. Because
Yeah,
if you just keep going back and back and back and back, like I was talking to somebody, they got a tracker on their man. And it's like, for what? Like, what are you tracking them for?
cracker.
Like, what are you tracking them for? If I'm looking for something, if I'm going, and I've been the type to go through the phones, or when I want to know something, or if I feel like you're not telling me something, or you're not being, you just being sneaky, and I know you, like I know your patterns or anything like that. I had to learn over time, like even if he is being sneaky, like I'm gonna respect your boundaries. That's your phone. I have my phone. I don't mind if you pick mine up or anything like that, because I don't got nothing to hide. But that's something that I've had to learn. It's like, if you have to do all of that, normally you do that to find out so that you can be done with the situation. Why are you tracking just to be like, oh, okay, I know where he at, I know he here, I know he there, okay, he finna do this, he finna make this move. Like that's borderline well, that is crazy, because what are you trying
Yes, yes, that is borderline crazy. And to her man, I'm like, why do you allow that shit? Why do you allow her to
he don't
track
know,
it?
he don't
Huh?
know. He don't
He don't
know.
know.
No, he don't know.
Oh man,
And that's
listen.
the crazy, that's like been there, done that, these days, and smartphones and things like that. But like I said, you're looking for something so that you can not be played and you can be done with the situation. But not just to keep tabs on him. He ain't, this my man, this not my son.
Yeah. Now you know what, she better pray as soon as he find out he don't up and leave her, because it's like, what
Yeah,
man want to be like? We want to have our freedom. We want you to miss us. We want to
yeah.
have a life. We need to have a life outside of you. I've talked to
Mhm.
plenty of couples on this podcast. They said the same things, that you got to have friends. You got to have a life outside that partner.
You do.
If you don't have a life outside that partner and you don't have time to miss them, then that relationship, it's gonna go sour.
Yeah, that's so true. We're still both individuals. So I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and one thing I've known about friends is like sometimes you can tell them some things, but you just gotta let them be. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just gonna go one
That's
one
it right
thing
there.
one throughout. You know,
Yeah.
but that's still crazy in this, and all these relationship situations and stuff. It makes being single a little more peaceful. That's
I
the sad
felt
part.
that way before I got in my relationship that I'm in now. I had went through a little heartbreak, and I've always been used to being in a relationship, even if like it may have went, I'm gonna say like 6 months or so. I've never been single longer than that. But before I got in my relationship, I was single for like almost 2 years, and I was really heartbroken. I had really went through something, and that was the first time that I was like, okay, it's all about me. I'm living my life. I was dating, like how they say date them all. I wasn't out here sleeping with everybody, but I was really dating. I was really doing my own thing. And I would even get asked all the time, like, you really don't want to be in a relationship? Or when it was there, like, oh, you just want my meat back or something like that. I'm not chasing that. Oh, I bit my lip. But like,
Mhm.
I'm just not ready. I knew that I wasn't ready for a relationship. And not only that, but I was scared of being hurt again. So I had a big wall up. But being single, I was like, bruh, it made me like, I seen the other side. All the men that are in the relationships, that are married, and all of that stuff, like that were coming at me. I was like, this is really real. Like, y'all be doing this when people are in relationships. And so that really made me like, yeah, I'm cool. I'll be single and live my life and not have to worry about if he cheating on me, if he out here, these inbox bandits and all of that. Like, they
Yes.
are crazy.
You would think the inbox bandits will go away if you post somebody, but I've heard from people
Mhm.
in relationships it only get worse. I'm like, damn. I'm like, so if you post somebody, it's only gonna get worse. Now you got other people in your inbox trying to take them away. I'm like, you don't love yourself. Like, if somebody tell me they're in a relationship, I'll just back
That's
off.
it.
I'm not even gonna force this situation.
That they be wanting the ones, and I said this in one of my shows. It's crazy. Like, what's for you is for you, and I think that people, they miss that. You see what looks good. You see, like, prime example, speaking about my relationship, because we're both like in the spotlight, and my man, he has his own show as well. And when we're out, like, people be calling us like, oh, goals and the power couple and this or that. It's good, and we do work hard towards our relationship, but our relationship is not perfect. We get mad at each other. We be fighting, or not physically, but like we argue and things like that. I be tired. I be like, you know what? I don't know. I have to think about it. I have to weigh my options and everything. But it's like, it's a continuous job every day. Like I said, we're working to maintain this relationship and to make sure that it's healthy. But people only see the image and what we look like when we're out and want it. And I think that's what happens a lot. It's like, oh dang, he really hold her down, he really be doing everything for her. You want that, but it's like he's doing that because that's his woman. Or, oh, she really a down ass female, and whatever it may be. So you looking and you're like lusting for that, but you don't know what this man is doing for her or to her, or how he's making her feel, for her to really feel like I'm gonna stick beside him. Like, all of that, it's like, it's the back end, but nobody wants that. They don't want to work for it. They don't want to build it up. They just feel like, okay,
Yes.
this is what it looked like. I'm just gonna go after that because I see what it looked like. But how she is with you, she ain't, or with him, she's not gonna be like that with you, because you're different with every person. But
Yes, you are. You are definitely different with every person. what the difference is? The difference comes down to is whether or not you really like them or not, or whether or not they like you more than you like them.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
the real difference. Because if you were in a relationship with someone that you like them, but they don't like you the same way, you're gonna tolerate more crap, and they're gonna be half-assing it, and they're gonna be waiting for you to
Yeah.
fuck up so that way they can just bounce, you know. But if you're with somebody
Mhm.
that really likes you, they're gonna fight you to keep this shit going.
Yes. Yes. That
And
that's so true. Like
mhm,
in my situation right now, like I went through um something really traumatic. I don't know if you had a chance to even like really dig deep or see anything, but like I lost my son 3 years ago. He was gunned down, and that's the hardest thing I've ever in life had to deal with, and don't know how I'm still standing to this day.
damn,
I
I'm so sorry for your loss.
thank
I
you.
couldn't even imagine. Like, say, I don't
Thank
have kids. I couldn't even imagine losing a child like that. I'm
Yeah.
sorry for that.
And so I'm just so thankful and I'm blessed to be with the person that I'm with. And it's like he's there exactly how I need him to be. He's not overbearing. He doesn't like because a lot of people, not just in relationships, they're overbearing. They want to be there, and I know they want to be there, but they don't know how to be. And they stress you out. They stress you out a lot. But then there's those people that don't know how to be there for you, and you may need them actually. If I was in a relationship with somebody else, or even just saying like in a past relationship that I've been in, I would have lost my mind. I don't think that that person could have ever managed me going through what I've went through or what I'm still going through. So, and that just comes with it. Like you have, like, there's a timing for sure, timing. And sometimes you just got to meet at the right time or different times. Or any us, for example, we met like 10 years ago, and we've been together the last 3 years. So it's like it's definitely timing. But everybody is different with everybody, and
Mhm.
maturity, where you're at, a lot of things come into play. And how you are, like you said, how you are with that person, how they are with you. Do they really like you? Do you really like them? Do they like you more than you? Or all of that
Mhm.
matters.
Yes, all of it definitely matters. So y'all definitely be careful if you get into relationships. And please get into relationships with people that are single, that cannot be claimed by somebody else, that don't have another person pregnant, you know. Please don't get into. And
For
I even
sure.
see people that were pregnant out here dating and stuff. I've seen that too. I'm like, come on now. I don't I can't make this up. There was somebody on social media they were just open with it. Like, yes, I'm pregnant with another man's baby, but I'm out here dating. I'm like, okay, miss.
Whoa. I mean, we don't know the situation or how they met or anything like that, but god dang, it's like you got priorities. You got a lot of prenatal priorities that you need to be focused on. Dating shouldn't even be on the list.
Yeah, and that's what I said. And it's like even to people with a newborn, like a 6 week ago, like a newborn. I'm like, you got a newborn, but you're out here dating. Like if I had a newborn and it was just me, I would not. Dating would be the last thing I'd be thinking about.
Yeah.
You
Sure.
know. Now, speaking of relationships, now I was listening to another podcast. They made some interesting facts about this, and I gotta speak on this. So I want to get your take as well. What do you
Okay.
think about people who claim that single people are a bad influence on people in relationships? Because they act like single people can be the absolute devil to people in relationships when that's not the case. I'm like, just because I'm single does not mean I haven't been with somebody before.
Yeah.
So I don't get why people automatically assume that their single friends are the absolute devil.
They can be. They
Now
can be.
some can be, you know.
But that's not true at all. And I think I happen to be one of those friends when I'm single or have been. I don't plan on being, but I'm not I'm not gonna force you to do anything that you don't want to do or put you in any environment really all I can say is like everything is like situational because there's some friends, and I have some friends, they try to treat me like I'm single. They want me to do single things. They want me to go certain places that I do not belong. But I don't like you said, you've been in a relationship before. So you know what it's like to be in a relationship. You can give advice from your experience or anything like that.
Mhm.
Um, I don't think that you can't take advice from anybody that's single. I think it just really depends on the person and the information or where it's coming from,
Mhm.
really. But I don't see a problem with that. I don't have a problem I don't have a problem with having single friends or anything like that. But there are those ones that it's just like, I don't trust them, don't want them around.
Yeah, if that's the case, you might want to get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's like you got to cut them off. The ones you can't trust, you know what I'm saying? That's going to
Yeah,
tell you some dumb shit, because I'm that single friend that'll tell you better stay in this relationship and fight for it if the
right.
person's worth it
Yeah.
because ain't shit out here right now. So I need y'all to
Mhm.
fight for your relationships because it ain't shit out here. You ain't missing nothing.
For real. But at the same time, also, it be the ones in the relationships that they be more of a bad influence. They be worse. So
Oh
it's
man, that's not good if the ones in the relationships be the worst influence.
yeah. Yeah.
That is, if your relationship is making you be a bad influence on somebody, then you might need to get out of that relationship because though your partner should bring the best out of you, not turn you into something you're not. I've
Right.
heard plenty of artists say that on songs that I wasn't myself, I wasn't this, I wasn't that, and then I get away from that person. And it's like, yeah, what a difference getting away from that one person makes. I even seen what
Yeah.
Pete Davidson. He said he got away from Kim and things got better for him. You know what I'm saying? Even
Yeah.
even for Ye, he got rid of
Everybody.
Kim, and it's like things
Yeah.
got better. So sometimes it is the person you're with.
Yeah. That's so true too. And I think that's why we just have to stay aware of that because we can I'm gonna say get lost in a relationship just because like you're just getting so involved, but that's why you have to still be your own individual. Y'all coming together as one, especially if you marry, but you have to remember that you are like I despise friends that get in relationships and think that like you don't know how to balance having friendships and a relationship. I understand they're two different things. I understand your relationship is your priority or all of that. But just because you get in a relationship, you don't have to isolate yourself. I don't give a damn if it's just having drinks or having brunch or lunch or anything like that. Yeah, you may change up and you may not go out to the club or anything like that because you're in a relationship. But to just completely isolate yourself or treat your friends like they ain't never been there when you were going through it, I don't understand those. I think those are the type of people that really lose themselves within relationships.
Yes, and those are the ones that when the relationship blows up in their face, they some of them act
Mm,
all brand new, and then some of them they just go completely ghost. It's like
yeah,
you can't be that way. You can't be like you gotta have your friends that's been riding for you on your side and stuff. No, they
yeah,
gotta respect the fact that you have your people because I know there's some controlling people that will tell you, oh, you can't be friends with this person, you can't do this, you can't do that.
mhm,
They were here before you, so you're gonna respect them, or this relationship is just not gonna work. And
it
I
ain't.
think more people need to be strong minded like that.
Yeah, because why are you with somebody that wants to tell you that you cannot have friends? Why? And I bet they have friends and do everything they want to do, but you can't have friends. You got to sit at home and do absolutely nothing while they out living their life, their
Hmm.
individual life, and get back to you when they get back to you. But you just feel like you just trapped.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and if you feeling trapped, then that's not the relationship for you. And now I will say, how do you feel about your person having friends of lady friends? Because there was some men that said they had to cut off their girlfriends that not their female friends that which were like their homegirls, meaning they're not gonna hit on them. I'm like, why you had to cut the homegirls off? It's like you ain't gonna fool around with them.
You what Timon say on the Lion King? You gotta leave your past behind you.
I mean, if it's an ex girlfriend, yeah, that I understand. Yeah,
Yeah.
if it's an ex, I understand.
Um,
But
but no, being honest, my man has female friends that he's grown up with, that he's known. They lived in his neighborhood and things like that. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. I've actually been out with him multiple times. Sometimes they've come out when I've had something for his birthday or something like that, and they may bring their men. Okay, cool. Um, as long as they're respectful, I don't see anything with wrong with it. Now you're not going out and hanging out with your female friend. No, I'm not playing that at all, and I'm definitely not going to do that at all. But I don't feel like you can't just 100% not have friends of the opposite sex. I think that there just has to be boundaries when you're in a relationship.
yes, you said it. Yes, you definitely got to have those boundaries, and a lot of people don't respect those boundaries. I'm like, you got to have the boundaries. If you set the boundaries, everything should be all, or everything should be copacetic. But
Yeah.
people nowadays they take it to the next extreme,
Mm-hmm. They
which
do.
I don't get. I'm like, we about to be in 2024, the world about to end, y'all doing shit to the next extreme. I don't get it.
Yeah. And then you just have some friends, and like those may really be your friends, but you have to, like, your friends, I'm sure. And you got to
Hmm.
know your partner as well, too. Because if you got somebody that's like a short fuse, like, you really have to know. And sometimes it's not even a cutoff, but it just has to be boundaries there. Because, and I know I can say this personally, I have guy friends, and some of my guy friends, like, they joke a lot. They may joke a little too much, but I know how they joke. I know how they play, but you're not going to do that because that's going to come off as disrespectful to the person that I'm in a relationship with. So there has to be like boundaries within there. But you have some friends, they don't care, and they feel like, oh, okay, I don't care that you're in a relationship. I known you longer than her, or I known you longer than him. Or like you owe them more loyalty than you owe the person that you're with. It's when it's like we're not even one and the same. This is someone that I'm in an intimate relationship with, and you're someone that I had a friendship or whatever the level of it was. But if they can't respect the fact that you're in a relationship, I think that deserves a cutoff.
Definitely, it definitely deserves a cutoff. If you they can't respect the fact that you're in a relationship, you definitely got to cut that off because it just shows you who they really are, and and they're
Yeah.
probably gonna want the same thing from you as if they get into a relationship, So
Yeah.
you just got to cut them off if they're not gonna respect your wills and stuff. Ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. This is minute 52 of Liquor Talk. Keep pouring up if you haven't done so already. Remember, drink responsibly because I'm not responsible for your DUIs. The last thing we're gonna get to is what do you think about people saying that marriage is nothing but a big ass transaction, and also people who complain about divorces and having to pay alimony and all that other stuff. It's like my thing is why get married if you're gonna complain about all that stuff. But what do you think?
I'm big on marriage. I want to be married. I was married actually, but I married young. I was 17 when I married.
Wow,
Um,
17?
yeah.
What were you thinking getting married at 17? You not
I thought
come
I was in love. I thought I was gonna be with him for the rest of my life, and we had my first child. We had together, and that's just what it was. But then partially, after I matured, I realized like I just wanted to be out of my mom's house as well. Um, I just wanted to be gone. But actually, like he was very controlling. He didn't want me to have friends. He didn't want me to hang out with my family. He wanted to isolate me and have me all to himself. And then he tried to be a little abusive. So I got right out of that situation
Was it
immediately.
a man in his 30s?
No, he was 2 years older than me. He was 2 years older than
A
me. So he
19 y'all were
was,
19 and 17 getting
yeah.
married?
Hmm.
Man, I would have loved to see y'all on divorce court and watch the judge rip into
Nah,
y'all because
nah.
it's
Well, you
like
probably would have, but because back then, whew, I was off the chain. But nah, I just like, I knew it wasn't for me. I got right up out of it. But like, I'm big on marriage. I love everything that marriage, real marriage, represents. I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't think that it's transactional. Everything is what you make of it. And
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm gonna tell you something. I have a friend right now, and he's not married, but he was dealing with someone, and like I was saying earlier, he took care of her, did everything for her. He actually got it to the point where she felt where he made her feel comfortable enough to not need to work at all. Like she lucked up and got with somebody that really bought her a house, bought her a car, did all of those things for her, right? Somebody else comes along, her bag match his bag, and it's just like whatever the chemistry or whatever was there that made him feel like the grass was greener. And we were just having a conversation, and he was saying like he's still kind of torn between the two, but he doesn't understand. Like, now you like this one more. She's more of a go-getter, and she got her on and everything, while she over here, she just want to be taken care of. She don't want to work, she don't want to do this, she don't want to do that. And I had to stop him in his tracks and tell him, you got her used to that, you made her that.
Yup.
So it's like you have to take accountability, because that's what you did, and you did it for so many years. And she, like, that's all she knew. Of course she's still going to expect that, or like she thought that she lucked up and just, I could just sit back and chill, and I don't ever have to do anything, cuz I'm being completely taken care of. Totally.
Now, what does she bring? Does she do anything for him to make him say, I just want to take care of this girl"? Does she do anything for him?
Like I said, you must really love her for you to do all of those things. Something, she made you feel some kind of way within you for you to do those things. Because like you've openly said, like, oh well, I like her because she got money, she rich, she be giving. Yeah, you got your own money, but she's giving to you, which I don't think is gonna last. But it be men, y'all be a little confused. Y'all
I
be
mean, I
having
think
it
we
all
all
and
be
having what
confused,
y'all want, but now you can't, you stuck, you don't know what to do, because this, she's buying your time, versus this one, she just got it naturally. But now you don't know how, okay, like you teetering, like which way do I go, which way do I go?
Well, at this point, you just got to go with what makes you feel right. You know what I'm saying? If it feels right, go get the divorce. If it doesn't feel right with the other person, you ride with the person you with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
And what I will say, like you said earlier, it's not always about 50-50, or like what, it's not like, it's like what you can do, you bring what you can do, I bring what I can do, and we balance it out. That's how a relationship is, that's how it's supposed to be. So when you ask what did she bring, like, yeah, you're successful, you're a businessman and all of these things. She helped you maintain your businesses and run them, so
mm,
it's not like she didn't do anything at all.
okay,
She's
there we
helping
go.
your situation, versus this person, like all they have is the finances. But some people don't look at the obvious, like it's there. She's not doing the financial part, but she's helping bring in the finances. You get me?
Hmm.
So
Yeah. So in that case, you just gotta ride with who got you there. And if she was there from the start, you gotta ride with the person
yeah,
that was there at the start, because the
yeah.
grass ain't always greener on the other side. And that new
Mhm.
person you get, they might not have your back. They might not be as busy savvy as you think, you know.
Right.
So you just gotta ride with them, especially if you didn't give them the ring and stuff.
Yeah.
Because you know what they say. They say it's cheaper to keep them, you know.
For sure. For
It's
sure. That's still
definitely
true.
Yeah, it's definitely cheaper to keep them, but you gotta know who the kid kept, but who's worth being kept, and
Right.
you just need to get kicked to the curb, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So, what's the big plans for the podcast for the remainder of the year?
I am going up. I am just like recording and recording and recording. I really want to go to like you said they had a podcast, a convention out there. I really want to do one of those and just like meet new people. Like I went through the same thing with you, as far as like having to go outside of the city, even though there's a lot of people here with podcasts. But I just feel like expanding your network is really going to expand your net worth eventually. So I'm just working on continuously recording and dropping episodes and meeting a lot of new people, really. So just stay tuned. I'll be talking about everything. The only thing I really don't care to talk about is politics, but everything
Shit,
else.
you listen. You and every black person say the same thing because it's like I only know one
Huh.
black person I know, and that's one of the homies. He knows that he knows
Mhm.
he's good with his politics and stuff. So
Yeah.
I really don't care to talk about it either because I think the whole I'm on my conspiracy theory shit.
Yeah.
I think all this shit's just made up, and I think they know what they about to do. You know,
Yeah.
but they just it's an illusion. You know, but I
Right.
don't like going down that rabbit hole. But lastly, listen, I definitely enjoyed the time with you. Tell the people why do they need to tap in with the GOAT podcast.
It's the GOAT podcast everywhere. So either you can look me up like on Facebook. My personal page is Krissie the GOAT, KRISSIE, and then the GOAT is THAGOAT. But on Twitter and Instagram is KRISSIE underscore the number two, the letter X, Krissie underscore two times. My podcast page on Instagram is THA underscore G.O.A.T underscore pod. And like I said, if you just type in Krissie to Go or the Go podcast, I'm going to come up on YouTube, TikTok, everywhere. It all aligns.
So what are the why and what are the people gonna get from your podcast if they tap in with you?
Um, a lot of real. You just gonna get like, I don't know. Like I be telling people, don't look to me. I'm not no counselor. I'm not no life
That's
coach.
real.
I'm not any of that. But truthfully, you're gonna get something that you can use. You're gonna get some. Like I speak from experience and I speak from research. I do a lot of research. Um, I guess because I've always wanted to be like a counselor or I've wanted to work with like at-risk youth and things like that. So that's where I speak from as well as like a mother. I'm real nurturing. So I just talk about real life relationships, issues, drama, like all the stuff you spoke on here. I just give my opinion on those things. I'm very, very opinionated. So you're gonna get entertainment for sure, and you just gonna get some real feedback on whatever it is.
That's real. That's real. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for coming on the Liquor Talk. Whenever you're ready to have me on the GOAT podcast, remember I might be in Florida. I'm just a DM away. Let's
For
go ahead and
sure.
set it up because I would love to come on your podcast. And hell, later this year, if I ever come to Vegas, I'd love to get with you and then we can get together and record some stuff.
For sure.
Or if you ever come to Florida, hit me up. We can definitely get up in the studio and
For
make
sure.
some stuff happen.
Yeah, we
And I
could.
want to thank you, the listeners, for listening to Liquor Talk. Thank you for tapping in, whether to listen to on iHeartRadio, Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever you get your podcasts at. I want to thank you all. Also, don't forget people listening on YouTube. We are in the midst of the final rounds of season 5. Season 5 is coming to a close. I want to thank everybody for supporting. Until next time, keep it easy and keep it breezy. Pull up and keep it moving. We're out this motherfucker deuces.